We all have a story of great trailer disappointing movie, don't we? You know how it goes. You watch a trailer, it seems awesome, you get excited when you finally get to watch the actual movie, and you start like this, only to end up like this.
Lord, why have you given me these unholy visions of doom?
Case in point, Antlers. Although the movie has a good idea, elements, and even a great team behind it, I mean, come on, Guillermo del Toro was involved. The final product is so goddamn weak. What the hell happened? It's like this was made on a dare. Someone gathered all just good things and dared someone else to make a bad move out of this. Problem is, they made a bad move out of this. Well, let's see if we can find out what went wrong. I'm Dr. Midnight. Let's dissect Antlers. We open with a man taking his son to abandoned mine in a take your kid to work day for Met Labs. However, the boy, named Aiden, thinks he heard something, but as long as not the cops, the dad discovered it.
Why can't I come in with you?
As I said, so ain't a place for kids.
I think we see this isn't a place for anyone, but go off, I guess. Sure enough, as the dad and his friend are getting ready to leave the creepy abandoned mine, they hear a strange noise. And because they have not yet realized they are in a horror movie, they go to check it. Well, either that or they have been consuming too much of their own products.
Daddy?
That's gone, kid. Congratulations, you're an orphan. Or dead. We cut to 3 weeks later as a woman, named Julia, teaches her class about storytelling. Let it go, the joke's too obvious.
Brody, give it a shot. Evie, do you have any stories you want to share? Okay, go ahead, Jasmine.
Yes, Miss Granger.
Among Julia's students is Lucas, Aiden's older brother, a quiet boy who walks around town alone and kills small animals with stones. So you know, your average well-adjusted kid. He even has a particular room that's kept locked from outside at home. Ah, the joys of life in a small town. At home, Julia seems to be remembering some unpleasant things from her youth, which will in no way, shape or form connect her to Lucas. Her brother arrives and they talk.
That was cool.
It's just not what I hoped it would be.
You want me to move that out of here?
What a deep conversation. I learned so much about the two of you. Get used to it. Get really used to it. Lucas doesn't seem to be having quite a good night either, as he stares at a photo of his family before... you okay there, kid? I mean, I would want to rip this ugly doll apart too, but...
Just getting ready to go evict another family with kids.
I barely recognize this place anymore.
It's our own little slice of paradise here.
Oh yeah, this place must have been absolutely wonderful in its prime. In class, Lucas is called to read his story.
Once, there were 3 bears. Big Bear, Little Bear, and Baby Bear. But Big Bear got sick, and Big Bear and Baby Bear were different because they had no food. But they had each other.
I would be a lot more concerned if that didn't sound like an actual version of some fairy tale. But Julia doesn't think Lucas is simply aiming to be Stephen King Jr. and after he gets in a fight and she can't reach his father, she decides the next logical and reasonable step is to follow him after school. I'm not sure I'm okay with this.
Hey, I was just about to go in there. You want to join me?
They engage in what I suppose is meant to be a cute attempt to bond, but it just comes off as awkward.
I wanted to know if ice cream is your favorite vegetable.
Ice cream isn't a vegetable.
Yeah, it is. To me, totally a vegetable. I also like cheeseburgers as a fruit.
Adorable. Julia thinks her amazing display of wit is enough to make Lucas confide in her when she starts to ask him about his brother. It's about as comfortable as the rest of the scene.
How do you know I have a brother?
Teachers know everything. Is he in our school?
I gotta go. And don't follow me this time.
See? Tell me this won't fit in a completely different movie. However, Julia decides to visit Lucas' home to talk with his dad while Lucas is busy picking up some more dead animals. Hey, can I have the bones? I need something for my art project. What?
Hello?
Give credit where credit is due. We have one character in a horror movie who is not stupid enough to hear a strange noise and go to investigate it. I mean, she's blind as a paper, but at least she's a paper with half of a brain cell. She also pieces together a drawing that Lucas made.
Is that the kind of thing you taught in California? I don't think that's gonna fly here.
Where did that come from? Is this really what humans ask after seeing a drawing like that made by a child?
You have every right to resent me. I know you couldn't have understood then, but I couldn't stay in this house anymore.
Oh boy. Let me guess. They are going to hit us with parallel between the teacher and the boy for the rest of the movie. Pass the alcohol! I cannot do this while sober! While this merry conversation is going on, we see Lucas preparing dinner for his family, as his dad and brother are still alive, just not in the best shape right now.
I got this for you.
I have nothing to say. Lucas' scenes are easily the best ones, where the movie style can truly hit you. There are no allegories shoved in your face or shallow characters with shallow dialogue. Just an eerie, quiet atmosphere as you watch this child deal with the situation he's in. If the entire movie had relied more on this, it would have been a lot better. But sadly we keep returning to the teacher who was abused as a child for no other reason than they want to force this parallel down your throat until you choke on it. Ah man, that would have fed my family for 3 days. We go back to Julia, who finds out Lucas has some pretty interesting choices of reading material and more creepy drawings which shows the principal. Surely she'll think of the best course of action in order to assure the child's safety and...
Neither of us are experts in diagnosing abuse. But sadly, Lucas is not the only one not getting the attention he needs.
Or do nothing whatsoever. Yes, I am aware that it's not always that the school can offer assistance and there might be several reasons for that, yada yada yada, but I still like to register my hopes that Lucas' father shields her face off. Speaking of which, how is the old boy doing? Oh dear.
Remember what Mama told us? Me and you. We was born under the lucky star.
A very rotten lucky star. Or maybe I'm being harsh. I mean, at least his brother is still... Oh fuck. The movie ping pong jumps again and we see Paul at the morgue, where the coroner explains that the corpse has human-like bite marks.
I don't quite know what to tell you, Paul.
Maybe you should ask the nice doctor who's taking a vacation here if he saw anything strange. Meanwhile, the principal tries to visit Lucas' dad, and since she has appeared for just one scene and has even less personality than the teacher or the brother, it goes about as well as you'd expect. She sucks so much that the monster doesn't even want to eat her? That's a new level. I admit, this is pretty fucking cool. At the mines where they found the other half of the corpse, Paul and his colleagues try to find clues about what happened.
How far back does this go?
Far. But I wouldn't go any further.
Careful, Josh is still down there! Oh, we're back to Lucas. We find that just because he became a cannibal, insane, murderous Wendigo, it doesn't mean that Daddy will stop looking after his little boy. That's kind of sweet. In his turn, Lucas realizes someone came to his house while he was out. I'm so gonna be expelled from school for that.
Have you spoken with Clint's parents this morning? We have to work under the assumption that this is just some kind of coincidence.
Not buying it.
My student is now missing too. What the fuck, Paul?
The warrant is being processed right now. It takes time.
Julia decides that, fuck the law, she does what she wants. She finds Ellen's car and calls brother, who finds that Lucas has some corpses in his closet.
Jesus Christ. Looks like something just burst out of him.
Wait, are we dealing with a Wendigo or the male version of the species alien? Lucas comes home and they take him to the hospital. Julia volunteers to take care of him in the meantime. Because of course she does.
He doesn't have a family, and he's my student, so he is my responsibility.
This is not about you. This is about him and getting him the help.
What did you just say to me?
Don't put our past on him.
Don't get me wrong, I don't have a problem with her wanting to help this kid. My problem is that Joe's characters are so superficial that I can't bring myself to believe that she has a connection with Lucas, or that she cares for him as an individual. So the brother's argument ends up ringing a lot more realistic than her intentions. This is because Joes aren't characters. They are a means for the movie to go on and on and on with its allegories. We see in a flashback that Lucas' dad locked himself in that room to avoid hurting his children, and that Aiden was also changed by the Wendigo. Just so you can see what kind of movie we're missing while Julia is talking and talking and talking. Paul takes some of the medicine bags they found in the mines and Lucas' drawings to the ex-sheriff, who just so happens to be of Native American descent. How convenient.
It's the Wendigo. During a brutally cold winter, a lost hunter's severe hunger drove him to cannibalism and transformed into an amorphous spirit, and known to be eternally starving, but feasting only makes them hungrier. Only kill it when it's in its weakened state, forcing it to search for another host.
Our dynamic doll siblings don't have much time to discuss the legend. Well, yes they do, but it's better to do so after the brother is called to see the bully's body.
That boy was eaten in half.
Wait, so the Wendigos are constantly hungry, constantly hunting, yet whatever prey they catch they only eat half of it? What sense does that make? Paul remains skeptical, but Julia can't think of another explanation for the murders or the husk they found.
So Ellen Booth and that husk, and what about Lucas's brother? Where's he?
Well, you say it like that. They decide to take Lucas to their home, and Julia talks to him about their parents. Because this woman can't talk about anything else, unless it's about how pineapples are her favorite pasta or something.
My dad died too. Well, he kind of did it to himself.
Do you love your father?
Again, this could be a deep moment, but loses much of the emotional element considering that while I invested in Lucas enough to care, I'm not nearly as invested in Julia. A little lesson, guys. If you want to draw a parallel between characters, then A, you have to make both of them more than cardboard cutouts meant for just that, and B, you need more subtlety. This works a lot better than the times when she talked about the abuse until now. I'm not saying addressing such matters verbally in the story doesn't work. I'm saying it doesn't work like this.
Your dad died.
That was my old dad. When he was sick and mean. My new dad is with Aiden. But Aiden doesn't understand. I just have to feed him and he'll love me.
Oh, he'll love you alright. Especially with some barbecue sauce.
He'll come for me and take me to the mine to be with Aiden.
You know, I wonder, what is with Wendigos and abandoned mines? Julia realizes that Lucas may not completely understand the situation and perhaps it would be a good idea to hide.
Where are you taking me?
Out of this movie, I hope. Meanwhile, another cop finds Aiden right outside, but he's killed by Lucas' dad. Oh no, poor... whatever his name was. Paul returns and is warmly welcomed by Dead Wendigo, and Lucas runs out of the house. Don't worry, he just needs to feed Daddy. I mean, the meat is already there anyway.
Lucas dead?
He went to the mine. I'm gonna go after him.
Okay, do you have a plan?
I have to go find him.
You do know we're not talking about a lost puppy, right? Paul insists that she takes him along, but seeing how wounded he is, she complies. I'm not kidding. She even calls the ambulance as she drives to the mines with him and just leaves him in the car. So, after leaving her brother to bleed to death in the car, Julia enters the mines in search of Lucas. Being as careful as possible, as you can see. Luckily for her, Dad is too busy with a little snack. Okay, I have to say, this looks fucking awesome. With how weak the movie has been, I thought the monster design would be pretty lame. Maybe just Lucas' dad with the antlers and a messed up skin, but damn was I wrong. Yes, there are times when you can't see it quite clear, but when you can, it looks great. As for the confront itself, well, Julia tries to fight him. The key word being tries. But even when she realizes that Wendigo doesn't like fire, something about this feels rather empty. And I don't think it's just because I don't care if she ends up as dinner. The spirit of the Wendigo possesses Aidan. Weird, since it seemed he was already becoming one anyway. So Julia decides to put him out of his misery. I don't even mean the possession, I mean the movie. But hey, that doesn't mean we don't have time for a last allegory, right?
He's gonna be okay. He's just sick.
Lucas, listen to me. You know he's not gonna get any better.
Because it's just like someone being an abuser or a drug addict. I got it already. Now, if you hadn't hammered this on my head from the start, then this scene would be as tragic as you want it to be. So don't blame me for saying, get on with it!
What are we gonna do with them?
Wait, Paul is still alive? Hell, how strong is your plot armor? They decide to take care of Lucas for now, despite the chance of him becoming possessed by the Wendigo as well. Though Julia was in the same mind when the dad and the brother were killed, so I don't know why they think Lucas is the only one who poses a threat.
You know what he's going to grow into? Do you think you could kill something you love?
Oh, such an interesting question. It makes me wonder who's the one who's actually possessed. Oh dear, I never saw that one coming. So that was Antlers. What the hell just happened? It's not even that the movie is bad, but comparing to what the trailer promised and the idea behind it, it leaves a lot to be desired. I don't mind slow burn movies. I think some stories need to be quiet and to have a slow crescendo in order to fully frighten or disturb the audience. But there is a huge difference between that and being monotonous. The movie at times keeps the same tone during several scenes, so it risks becoming tedious, and once that happens, even a moment that should be tense or even scary loses its impact. It doesn't help that the movie keeps bashing your head with allegories for child abuse and other issues, and frankly, it doesn't even seem to be actually exploring those themes, just throwing them around. It gets so excessive that they don't feel like themes of the story, but more like topics forced into the shape of a story. I don't think it helps that the movie was actually based on a short tale. Now, I have not read it, but perhaps it wasn't the sort of thing that can be stretched into an hour-and-a-half movie. At least that's how it feels like. A pity, because the overall idea is fascinating and, again, it has a lot of promises. Even good elements such as the atmosphere and the notion that you don't need jump scares or a lot of blood to make a good horror movie. Hell, there are times when you feel there is a much better movie trying to rise from this mess, especially during Lucas' scenes, which makes the final result even sadder. Does it try to be a good movie? Yes. Does it succeed? No.